Hi, friends. Today I'd like to talk about 3 things I wish I knew when I was 20. Number 1, honor your inner knowing. We get shown signs all the time, whether it's messages through songs or just very clear things happening in front of us. We typically receive them when we're in a calm state and we're being present. When I was 19, I was shown a very clear vision. I was considering dating this gentleman, and I saw him dragging me down, like terrifyingly dragging my life down. And I remember trying to hide the expression on my face because I was so afraid that he'd see and that it would hurt his feelings. I was way too concerned about hurting feelings. I was way too concerned about feeling like I was judging someone. There's a difference between judgment and discernment. And you owe it to yourself to be discerning on what feels right for you, who feels right for you. And to follow those signs that the higher perspective is showing you. It's a guide. Anyways, I didn't. And so within the year after we became a couple, and along with another couple, we moved into a house. And because we were all living under the same roof, and I was, hey, do what you want, to each your own, live your life, I don't care. They were growing pot plants, he was dealing drugs, and it fell on all of us. And it landed me in jail with a record that couldn't be expunged, which kept me from opportunities for years because I didn't listen, and it came true. So please honor yourself. Honor that there's something bigger guiding you, directing you, protecting you. Number 2, you get to decide who to be. And you're never too far gone. You could always change your story. The way you treat yourself trains other people how to treat you. I used to not have a lot of self-worth, hence the previous story, the people I was around, the people I was drawing in. I went through a lot young, and to cope, I would get in the mirror and look deep into my eyes, into my spirit, and build myself up. You've got this. You're strong enough. You can get through the day. You can hide the pain. You can hide what's going on. Put that makeup on like a mask and be pretty enough, and people will like you and not know what's happening, and you've got this. And it worked enough to survive over and over and over. But I didn't love myself. I didn't have my self-worth. And you need to love yourself first. You are worthy just because you're here. And when you flip that, the manner in which you use the mirror, when instead you connect to the actual truth inside, what you know to be beautiful about you, not what your thoughts say, because you are not your thoughts, you are an observer, hence you can alter them. And you use that and you build it. You build yourself up. You look deep into your eyes and you say, I love you. I am beautiful. I am kind. I am here for a purpose. Whatever resonates with you. And that's not arrogant. That's watering your soul. And it's so important because life can really have a way of knocking us down and beating us down. And the mind wants to grab onto the negative much more easily than the positive. And you owe it to yourself to show up as your best self, to show up in a way that honors your beautiful soul inside. So just start building yourself up. Ignore the stuff that's running. It's all nonsense anyways. And little by little over time, you'll feel it. And as that builds up, as you remember who you are, it almost blocks out a lot of the horribleness because you've created enough of a foundation to stand on. You've created enough standards within yourself to not allow some of that stuff in that could be so harmful. And you've created an upward momentum, and whatever you're putting out there will come back in. So when I found self-love, I was doing this, and it felt silly at first. And it's compounded over enough time where it's allowed me to let go of that story that I was holding on to for so long, that I had to be strong and I'm a survivor and I can get through this. You're more than that. And when you allow yourself to see that and you rejoice in that and you start celebrating that in yourself, then what's more and more aligned to who you really are inside will come in, because you're emitting that frequency of love and gratitude and light. And just like a radio, what we're putting out, we're drawing back to us. So instead of it going down, you're bringing it up. And then life takes off faster and faster in a direction that is aligned to you being here. So love yourself. Number 3, your purpose is to just be you. The most authentic you can be. And that's a continual process of becoming. I know in high school, I was always drawn to the esoteric, tarot, astrology, different cultures and views on God and spirituality, anything metaphysical. And anytime I would express an interest in this, even if it was just, ooh, I remember my dad would go, oh, all this woo-woo nonsense. And there was that part of me that always knew that I wasn't pleasing him. And I so badly wanted his respect. And so I would shove it down and shove it down and shove it down. And ironically, I earned his respect. Forget the exact words he said. I think it was something like, oh, it's about time you're showing up as an adult. I earned his respect at like the age of 29, I want to say. I was pregnant with my son at the time. And I had gotten my first corporate job. I always had avoided corporate world. I did bartending and hair and worked in clubs and got my first corporate job, and it seemed like kindergarten to me. It was like, oh, happy Friday, yay, we get 2 days of time to ourselves because we're not on the clock. And it was all silly politics and, you know, putting on a mask and attending meetings that didn't really go anywhere. And all this foreign. It felt so foreign to me. Because while my jobs were unconventional, I guess, or not, in his view, successful, they also were like, hey, you gotta hustle to make it. And I kind of made my own schedule and created it around what was gonna make sense. And I knew I had to bust my ass if I wanted to make the income, and it made time go fast. And it was more, I guess, natural in human interaction and everything else, because it was outside of that structure. And when he said that, I was like, wow, this this is easy but stupid. Like, this is what you respect? This is dumb, and it's not me, and okay. And so I was finally able to let it go. I kept that corporate job for a while, for, you know, it made sense for the insurance and everything else, because I was about to have a child, and it had that stability factor, I guess. But it kind of allowed me to release all that, because it was so dang silly. And then years later, I was on some kind of training, and I heard a gentleman, I wish I remember his name. He said something that hit so far home. He said, the wording may not be right, but it said, God put the dream on your heart, not theirs. So don't expect anyone else to understand it. And I kept expecting, especially my dad, to understand why I'd be excited and try to prove myself to him and prove it had worth, and to no avail. But he's not the one given the vision. I was. So honor that vision inside of yourself. It's there for a reason. And as Bashar says, when you follow your greatest excitement to the extent it can go, you know, just keep doing that. Don't overthink it. Don't analyze it. I used to read all these self-help books, because obviously that wasn't the path if Dad didn't agree. So, you know, what's the color of my parachute, and what am I here to be? And study and study and study and take all these like tests, 2-hour test. Who am I? And that got nowhere, because really, it's simply taking action on what calls out to you. That's all. So when someone forces their view of what you should be doing on you and all these things, thank you. And do what's on your heart. Because I'll tell you what, I'm finally looped back around in my 40s, doing what's on my heart. But I'm building it while I work a full-time job as a single mom. Do it early, while you don't have as many bills and responsibilities to keep up with, because then you have that time freedom to fully invest in and allow it to really elevate you. So that's my 3. Above all, show yourself some grace. You know what? Life's not always easy. And when you just kind of release it and know that you're right where you need to be, that'll all work out, because it will. And that you just need to breathe and kind of release control a lot of times, and have an attitude of gratitude. Thank you for the good times. Be thankful even in the bad times. Because when you're thankful, that puts you on that higher vibration. You can't give thanks and complain at the same time. So when you give thanks, even if it's like, wow, this is horrible, and thank you that it's showing me who's there for me. Thank you that this is moving in a direction that's meant for me. Thank you for the learning I'm getting from it. Then it allows things to keep proceeding, and you can just relax and be you. I love you.